character for his set, it just bit my pistol. They had a hill built up, a fake hill for this set for Mother McCree, and the geese were getting down under the 2x4s under there, so they needed a fellow to herd them out, keep them out. So that was my first job with Mr. Ford. Well, Mr. Ford says, so you're a football player. And I said, well, playing at USC. He said, see how you get down. So I got down, braced on my forearms and my feet, and he just kicked my arms out from under me and stuck my nose in that mud that they'd made for Mother McCree, and I'll tell you, it wasn't the sod of old Ireland, and it really hurt. So not being interested in a motion picture career at that time, I said, let's try it again. Well, it's hard for one fellow on a line to take out anybody when they can move wide on you. So as I thought he would, he started to go around this side, and I just whirled and kicked him and hit him in the chest, and it sat him down on the part that goes over the fence last. And he looked up with a little surprise, and there was a deadly silence, and right then was a deciding point in my career.
I left my left was sleeping in her bed. I turned my back on my true love when fighting Johnny Red. I left my love a letter in the holler of a tree. I told her she would find me in the U.S. Cavalry. Down they go, there's no such word as can. We'll ride me down to hell and back for Ulysses Simpson Grant. Down they go, there's no such word as can. We'll ride me down to hell and back for Ulysses Simpson Grant. I left my love, I left her sleeping in her bed. I turned my back on my true love when fighting Johnny Red. I left my love a letter in the holler of a tree.
Director John Ford showed up on the set, unannounced and uninvited.
Ford.
In the U.S. Cavalry. Down they go, there's no such word as can. We'll ride me down to New Orleans for Ulysses Simpson Grant.
Folklore in its purest form. Cowboy's a little more than 100 years old, yet he's had more written about him than any real or fancied figure in all history. His way of life and earthy approach to survival have been an inspiration to kids and grown-ups in all nations of the world, from the day that Gary Cooper first said, "When you say that, smile, mister," to last night when another Western hero, Ward Bond, said, "Go ahead and draw, I'll wait for you." And then I like him for personal reasons. Before I tried on my first big hat, I lived in a furnished room. Now I come home and put my feet on my own sofa. Westerns made that possible. Most of all, I suppose I like the folklore and the man the cowboy is. Happy Ford? We started our association many years ago when he kicked me when I wasn't sitting down. I think he's probably the greatest storyteller in the business. Can't get his pipe on his mantelpiece for the awards, critic and academy, that have been given to him for his work. He's made all sorts of pictures, but he's, I think, the first director to ever develop the Western to its true classic state. Has a feeling for the pioneer American and the ability to express it to the eye of the camera. To him, nothing is impossible for an actor. He's a hard taskmaster, but his ability commands respect. Every actor in Hollywood wants to work with him. I have only one bit of advice to the young ones. Don't ever disagree with him standing up. Liable to wind up like I did. Pappy Ford.
How do you do, Mr. Ford? You did introduce John Wayne into pictures, am I right?
That's correct. Duke was an undergraduate at USC when I first saw him. He was young Duke then, now he's old Duke. He was our prop man, or third assistant prop man, during his summer vacations. I asked him what he wanted to do, what he was studying for. Was he taking pre-med, pre-legal? And he said, no, he wanted to be a director. So eventually he drifted into small parts and into bigger ones, and when the story of Stagecoach came along, I said I'd like to have Duke for it. And we got him in.
Don't you want another purple?
No, thanks. And there he is. And here he is.
Well, Mr. Ford, a little while ago, Frank Gruber, the writer, called Stagecoach the greatest Western film ever made, and he credited you, and many people agree with him. Do you?
Well, I don't know. I sort of liked my first big Western, The Iron Horse, which was one of the blockbusters of its time, the story of the UP Railroad. One of my favorites is The Searchers, and I think my real favorite is She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, featuring old Duke here.
Thank you.
Mr. Ford, although you've won 4 Academy Awards and 4 Critics Awards for your pictures, Stagecoach did not win one for you. How come?
Well, Dave, I think in Hollywood, we are very, very particular about the Academy Awards. We try to be very, very just. The year that Stagecoach was up for the award, Gone with the Wind was sort of the main contender, and the consensus of opinion was that it was a better picture, and I quite agree.
Well, of course, some of your greatest pictures have not been Westerns. The Informer and How Green Was My Valley, The Quiet Man, and the production you're working on now, The Last Hurrah. Which of these do you prefer? These are Westerns?
Well, I got a great kick out of The Last Hurrah, which I think is my best picture because Spencer Tracy gives a superb performance in it, and the rest of the cast I think is excellent. But I don't know. I like to get out and do a Western every so often.
I gather you prefer them.
Well, as a person, yes. As a director, I just love them.
And if I may say so, Mr. Ford, that love shows through in Stagecoach, which is called by many the greatest Western of all time.
Sentimental and one it is maudlin. And he's not afraid of those kind of scenes. As a matter of fact, one of the things that he told me early in my career was, Duke, you're going to get a lot of scenes during your life that are going to seem corny to you. And he said, play them to the hilt. If it's East Lynne, play it. And he says, you'll get by with it. But if you start trying to play it with your tongue in your cheek and getting cute, you'll...
Across the hills, on the moor and valley, such every song, my heart will fill its parting with my Sally. I seek no more the pine and caper, he's just but remind me how quickly I'll pass away with the girl I left behind me.